From Tally to Cali,
it's time
to wake up.
Wake up! Wake up!
Warchant.com is your ultimate Seminole sports source.
And this is Wake Up Warchant, fueled by DeLuna Coffee.
Coffee's for closers only.
Now here's Warchant.com's Aslan Hajavandi
and Corey Clark.
We in here, we back, excited, 30-something days until kickoff. Welcome on into this edition of Wake Up Warchant live here on YouTube. It's also your Friday edition of the podcast. We are fueled and presented by DeLuna Coffee. Go visit their website, delunacoffee.com. For the Warchant bundle, you'll get this tumbler, you'll get a 12-ounce bag of white sands, and you'll get those sea-salted caramels, which are so delicious. Before we bring in Corey Clark, he's already here, everybody. You can see him. He looks handsome in his brand-new Warchant polo. I'm wearing one too. Feels good.
Oh,
Feels
nice.
Good.
Yeah.
Shout out to our subscriber, 97 Wentworth. He sent us a direct message. He sent really nice things about both of us. Basically, he wants to be able to party with you at some point, and also is very sort of enviable of your fathering and parenting skills, Corey. But he ends it with, I think I'm going to go buy some DeLuna coffee now, which is really what's important because I'm simply a vessel to help our guys out in Pensacola. So get some DeLuna coffee, everybody. Corey, how are you?
Help out the Lamoxan, man. Do it for them. Do it for Noles, your fellow Noles, who make great coffee.
They do
as well. I'm doing well, man. How are you doing? You doing all right? You ready for this? It's been a minute.
It is. Feel a little bit rusty, but hopefully we'll be able to pull through it quite well. And I'm sure the coffee is really great. Jeff Cameron will probably be able to give a nice, rousing approval endorsement of it here shortly. We're going to get him set up on some stuff. Jeff Cameron, as you all know, part of the Warchant.com family. Now his show, a soft launch a little bit earlier, I guess you could say, but they'll be ready to roll. He and Tom Lang, 1 to 3 p.m. on Monday on 93.3 FM terrestrial radio in Tallahassee. If you subscribe to their podcast, you're good to go. Tom transferred everything over. You're set. You're rocking and rolling. They will show their show. It will stream live on our YouTube channel here on Warchant TV.
Right here where you're at right now, right? This
man.
Be the home of the Tom and Jeff show. I shouldn't say that. The Jeff Cameron show with Tom Lang. I can't rename it. Sorry about that, Jeff.
So big things in store for Warchant.com, as you are all quite well aware of, as we've been talking about here on the show the last few weeks. Corey's got a really great column about his excitement for this upcoming football season, due in part to the team that Gene Williams has assembled here at Warchant.com. But, man, I got excited just period. You just writing about football, Corey, getting us a little bit excited and talking about, obviously last season didn't work out the way we wanted it to, but I mean, how could you expect it really to have gone great with everything that was lined up against this first-year staff? So I think it was a good shot in the arm for all of us as we get ready. Again, we're like a month away, like literally a month away from the season starting.
Yeah, man, and you just, part of it is I think the team will be better. The quarterback play can't be worse. I feel like you have a pretty substantial improvement there. Defense can't be worse. I mean, literally just can't be. But also just where we were this time a year ago, man. It's hard to remember. It's not hard to remember, but maybe a better way to phrase it. It's easy to forget. This time last year, the beginning of August, I think the Big Ten had just said they're not going to play, and everybody was waiting to follow. All the other conferences to follow suit, and the SEC and ACC like, yeah, Big Ten, go do what you want. We're going to play football, and they did. But you were worried right up until the opening game. Like, is this really going to happen? Are they actually going to pull this off? And in a way, they didn't. I mean, it was a truncated kind of asterisk type season. Florida State only played 9 games, had a couple canceled. There were cancellations and postponements every week, and you'd wake up Saturday morning not knowing if you're going to play or not. Well, I feel like those days are over. I know we're not out of everything yet, but I feel like those days are over, and we can go into this season knowing that there will be a game every Saturday, knowing that there will be a lot of people allowed in the stadium, and then also knowing that this team, this staff, had a full year now, at least the last 8 months, of a real offseason to prepare for a real football season. So that's exciting. It's just exciting. Last year was a grind, man. It was tough. It was literally, like, I know it was tough for us. It was tough for you guys to watch. It was tough for you guys to keep up with a team where you really didn't even know if a game was going to be played. They had 3 weeks off in a row. The team wasn't very good. All of it was a grind, and you start really getting genuinely excited about a college football season being here, and also you hope an improved product in Doak Campbell Stadium.
Absolutely. What also gets me excited is doing these live shows again, Corey, because we got people that are pillars. They've been here since day one, supporting us with great comments, monetarily occasionally, And then you get new names that pop up on the screen. We've seen Rob Rathbun come around here quite often. He says he loves a new Warchant team. He's ready for some football. Would you pronounce it Rathbun or Rathbun? For some reason, I want to say Rathbun for some reason. I don't know why.
I would go with Rathbun.
Okay.
The Hawks announcer is Bob Rathbun.
There we go.
Maybe this is him.
Okay.
I didn't know he was a Nole, but so he pronounces it Rathbun.
Okay.
So that's where I'd go, but it could be Wraith. Who knows, man? Who knows? But he's a good person.
And Corey said that before he even knew that this existed. $100 from Rob. Let's go.
Rob, we'll pronounce it however you want us to. You leave a message, however you want it to be pronounced, we'll go that way. Thank you very much, man. That's very, very nice and generous.
Rob, we even started the show. We haven't even earned this money yet. But now you've set the bar for us. We surely will bring the heat. Somebody says they want the juice. We're bringing the juice. But we need somebody that can, just set it over the top with a nice garnish. I don't want to diminish him. He's more than a garnish. He's a pillar after all. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's get our guy from Virginia Beach, Virginia. It is the one and only, everybody. It's Gator Kirk, y'all. Make some noise, everybody. Gator Kirk. What's going on, Gator? There it is.
Let's get giddy. Come on, Corey, get giddy.
I am giddy, man. I'm giddy just hearing your voice.
I mean, I'm ready, dude. I'm this is my own wall. I'm gonna punch it, man. I'm gonna put a hole through. Let's go,
I'm
man.
gonna tear this sign down. That's great stuff, Gator Kirk. Thank you, buddy.
Loving life.
You should, man. It's summertime, but the offseason is coming to a quick conclusion here. Tomorrow, Friday, there'll be a media luncheon. Corey, myself, Gene, Ira, Austin, Michael will probably show up. Gene, or I already said Gene, Jeff and Tom will be there. The whole Warchant team asking questions, finding what's going on with this football team. What do you want to know what's going on with this offseason? What are the burning questions on your mind, Gator Kirk?
Well, one, I want to congratulate you on that great piece on the strength and conditioning.
Thank you, man.
That's awesome.
Appreciate it.
It's a really good watch. Y'all behave yourself at the luncheon. Make sure you mind your P's and Q's, especially now that you got new kids at the table with Jeff and Tom.
Right, of course.
I want to know, and Corey's kind of touched on it in a different light today, but what are you most concerned about this coming season? I know what I'm concerned about with the team.
As Corey takes a swig of his Coca-Cola, that's his brain juice.
It gets my juices flowing when I take a sip of Atlanta's finest. Yeah, man. I mean, it's very, very general, but I think I'm rightly concerned about the defense. That is something we will talk about for a lot in the next month. I think I like the pieces they brought in. I do. I think Jermaine Johnson is a difference maker. I think those other guys are all steady to solid players. But can it be good enough to give this team a chance to have a winning season? Because last year it was awful. It was abysmal. And if it can take a step, a substantial step in the right direction, then maybe you're looking at 7 or 8 wins, maybe. But obviously it won't be a top 10, top 20 defense. But if it can be just average, like we've always talked about the offensive line. The offensive line went from horrible to average last year, I thought. And you saw the difference. They were one of the better rushing teams in the conference. If you can go from horrible defense to average, or even slightly below average would be a big step up, and that gives you a chance. That just gives you a chance, but that's my number one concern because I haven't seen this coaching staff do it, and I haven't seen this group of players do it yet.
Yeah, I mean, defense for me, probably the lack of depth that you have on the front four. I think we like 4 or 5 of the guys they have. 4 or 5 of the guys they have are quite proven. Behind that, though, there's a lot of sort of apprehension because you have young, unproven guys. And I know there's a lot of options. There's a lot of well-recruited talent in that secondary, but I'm quite concerned about that too. I know everybody says linebacker, but I'm the guy that I just feel like in this day and age, if you can cover well, or if you can rush the passer, you can kind of, hide a little bit of your deficiencies at the linebacking spot, the second level. But you'll be on full display with your pants down if you can't get to the quarterback or if you can't cover on the back end. Those 2 things, big problems. So for me, it's defense. I know we talked about receiver and what they have there. Just have a good amount of faith in this offensive staff. Again, Norvell, and it's in his bio on Seminoles.com. His offensive average over 39 points per game like the last 4 seasons. Maybe it's come down a tick after last year, but he's top 3 as offense in terms of producing points on the board, not just yards, but points on the board. So I think we all feel good about the offense. Defense, can we get to the quarterback? Can anybody else besides Jermaine get to the quarterback? And can we cover? Can we cover zone? Can we cover for more than 1.7 seconds? That would be nice.
Yeah, and also, as people are rightly mentioning in the comments, it ain't like the offense bathed itself in glory last year either. And receivers are a huge question mark. Offensive line, again, was average, but as a commenter rightly pointed out, was it better because Jordan Travis was a unique talent running back there, or was it better because it was better? Those are questions that we still remain to be seen. I did think it was better. I just thought it was. It looked. I mean, how could anything look worse than what we saw in 18? But I thought it made some strides. But again, we'll know real quickly how much better it is, and we'll see. There are, when you're 3-6 and you have a losing record the last 4 years combined. There's a lot of question marks. That's why you went 3-6. I think the defense is number one issue, but there are a lot of them.
Gator Kirk, yours.
D-line. If you cannot get some pressure on the quarterback, you're going to get sliced and diced in the secondary, and a lot of that happened last year. Yeah. So I do think the offensive line was better, because if you look at our running backs and their average per carry, they did fairly well. So. They're no means great yet, but they showed improvement, and with another year under their belt and getting transfers in, I think they'll be much better.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
It's probably the big question mark.
That's the thing. They've addressed their issues. Now, have they fixed them? We don't know yet. We'll find that out, as Corey said, soon enough. But they've gone ahead and they've addressed it about as well as you could hope for in this offseason. So we're optimistic right now. Arrows pointing up. Gator Kirk, we appreciate the phone call.
All right. I appreciate it. As always, hit the thumbs up. Also, just a little reminder, 2 weeks from today, it's Aslan's birthday. And it's also opening day for the women's soccer team, who are preseason number 1. So let's go, Noles. You guys have a great night. Looking forward to all the content that's going to floor our way come Saturday.
Absolutely.
Go Noles.
That's right. That's Gator Kirk, everybody. He's in Virginia Beach, Virginia. We appreciate the phone call. Gator Kirk.
Hey, let me echo Gator Kirk's sentiments, folks. If you haven't watched the video that Aslan put together, it's the best video that's ever been on our site, and there's not really a close second. No, not to impugn your earlier work, Aslan. I shouldn't have said it like that. You've been here a while, but it's really, really good. And again, it just excites me so much for what this channel and this website can be as we move forward. Just really excited about all of it. But yeah, there's nobody else really doing what Aslan just did. There just isn't. So go watch it. It's 12 and a half minutes. It's really, really well done. See, Angelo knows what's up.
Yeah, thank you. Also, shout out to Travis H.
Go T.
Thank you very much, man. We appreciate it. Give you a little air horn there. That's right. Strength and conditioning special was on point, Aslan. Thank you very much, man. I really do appreciate it. I've read all the comments. Thank you very much, everybody. Robert Scott, my new favorite person. Appreciate all the great content, gentlemen. I'm glad that was my big concern, Corey. I didn't want Robert Scott to come off as like lackadaisical or just like overly goofy. He's a really likable guy. We complain, at least I do, about these boring interviews we have with coaches and players where they don't speak earnestly and honestly, and he just absolutely cannot lie if you put money in front of him. It seems like he just was completely honest. And somebody mentioned in the thread about, hey, it's nice that he's nice and everything, but I want somebody with a little bit of a mean streak. Jawan Williams was a nice kid as well. I don't know if he was after all, but there's nothing similar between these two guys, man. Robert Scott played last season, true freshman, said he couldn't even goblet squat a 45-pound dumbbell. They started him at right tackle for half the season, and he did fairly well, got some freshman All-American accolades. Now he's had a full year to get his body right. I feel optimistic about him, man. He's a lovable guy. I'm glad everybody seems to like him.
That's called a goblet squat when you hold it like that?
Yeah.
How old do you think Dix was when he did his first goblet squat? Out of the womb?
Yeah, I don't know. Like probably in the womb, maybe like, third trimester
3,
at some point.
2. I mean, that dude, holy moly. You weren't lying about that. That's crazy.
When he posed for his after photo, I mean, he's against a brick cinder wall, and someone's like, man, like he looks like he's part of the wall. The wall looks like it's part of him. He's jacked, man. He's an impressive.
Yeah, everybody go watch that. The Dix and Robert Scott come off great. Storms comes off great. And then just the whole thing put together by Aslan was really well done.
Yeah, thank you, man. I read your message as well, too, Corey. Thank you, man. I saw it. It was nice. I like you. You're a nice guy after all.
Thanks, man. Try.
Thanks, Travis. Thanks, Rob. Eric Angel in the house. Let's go, Eric. He's psyched. I'm excited now as well. Aslan and Corey are back. We really haven't been anywhere. We just haven't done one of these in a while. Let's go, Noles. NFL tonight. Oh, football tonight? What is it? The Hall of Fame game?
Hall of Fame game, I guess. I didn't know that. All right. Okay. Wonder if any Noles are playing.
Noles Saturday. Keep dem recruits coming. We're trying. We certainly will try. I know Mike Norvell's trying as well. So
what do they got? They got 6 O-line commits now?
Think so, yeah.
Man, I'm telling you what, you see a problem or something that you need to get really good at, and you take some numbers and throw it against the well, I don't want to say throw it against the wall. That sounds like it's just, hey, let's just grab whoever we want and we'll find somebody. But man, that's a really, really good sign when you have a position of great need and you go and get 6 guys already that have committed.
Yeah, these are not project players. Like these aren't guys.
Not all of them. No.
Yeah. I mean, these are guys that you probably can mold and shape quite fast and have them give you some instant help. A lot of people are talking about Jalen Early, the most recent commitment, comes from a really good program out in Texas. Duncanville, I want to say, don't quote me. But a couple people commented that they're from that area and how good of a program it is and that he's a legit player. So sky's looking good. Sky's looking blue. Sunny
Thank
sky.
you very much, Eric, by the way. Thank you very much. That's very, very kind. Thank you.
He might be up for the Notre Dame game. So
all right. Okay.
We can party with Eric again. Here's our guy. There's our guy. It's Mark, y'all. Let's go, Mark. Mark. There's a number between the 1 and the 0. There's a 5, 1, 5. Come on, Mark. What are we doing? Amazing. Love this guy. It's M. Adam CZ, everybody.
Yeah, sure.
Mad. He's in a good mood.
Well,
Mark, thanks so much, man. Thanks, bud. What can we say? $150, man. Welcome back, he says to us. Notre Dame's going down, calling it right now. Corey, are you ready? Are you ready to go? Will you walk that distance with our guy, Mark?
No. But what I will do, Mark, is I'm going to buy you an Ultra the next time I see you, buddy. The next time I see you, Ultra is on Clark. As many as you can drink, my man. Oh, responsibly, of course. But yes, very, very kind. I'm not going to go down that road with Mark quite yet. It would. What if Florida State beat Notre Dame? What that would mean for the program would be incredible. But yeah, man, I'm excited for this season nonetheless. Even though I'm not going to sit here on August, what are we, 5th, and predict a win yet. Yeah, excited about that game, man. Excited about that game.
Do you think you'll be able to see stuff in the next 3 weeks that'll change your mind about that, Corey?
Honestly, I guess like if I thought they were going to get close to elite quarterback play, that could be a different. Now, yeah, of course, it's just the most important position in sports. If they're better at that, if they're really good at that. But I think if I saw something out of either Travis or Milton consistently, that's like, okay, this just wasn't a good day. This is who they are. This is what they do. Yes, I would maybe something like that could change my way of thinking. Other than that, man, I don't know. I don't know what you could see from practice that make you truly believe that. Remember, they averaged, what did Notre Dame rush for last year against Florida State? Like 360 yards, something incredible. I know they averaged like 12 yards a carry in the first half. So I don't know what I could see in practice that would make me think that would just be, cut in half or something. If you could cut that number in half, you got a real chance. But I don't know that what I could see in practice, because if you saw the defensive line dominating, that's the thing with practice. You'd be like, okay, is that because Fabian Lovett's really good now and Robert Cooper is going to man the inside and Jermaine Johnson's a difference maker? Or is that because Florida State's offensive line isn't Notre Dame's offensive line? So that's the problem. But quarterback play and wide receiver play could really make me change my mind maybe.
But hey, is Notre Dame's offensive line Notre Dame standards after they lost all their guys and Dylan Gibbons? Picking Dylan Gibbons away from y'all.
That's right.
353 yards on 42 carries. That's 8.4 yards per carry.
That's horrific. And it's not like it was a surprise. Right. It's not like they went in there and wondered if Notre Dame was going to try to run the ball. I mean, holy moly, 353 yards on 42 carries. Man, all right.
We're focusing on the positive. Mark, again, thanks so much. Hope you and the boys the wife, the missus, the children, all of y'all are doing well. Let us know how your son's doing, whether he's picked the golf clubs back up yet. We want to know how that's we're back down to a single handicap yet with him. Let's go pivot back to the phone lines. Let's grab this one out of the queue. If I'm not mistaken, this is our good friend in Thomasville, North Carolina. It's Daryl, y'all. Daryl, good evening to you.
Touchdown, Florida State. Florida State 28, Notre Dame 3. Let's go Noles.
Ooh.
Don't say 28-3, Daryl. 28-3.
I concur with everybody. Aslan, you did a magnificent job with the video, with the strength and conditioning piece that you did. I really enjoyed watching that. I enjoyed the interviews with Robert Schott and with Dix, and just getting to see some of the inside information on what the strength and conditioning was all about, and how these guys are putting in the work, this summer, and how they really seem to be buying in on what Mike Norvell is and the coaching staff is trying to get them to do in the work, and the strength and conditioning is really was really exciting to see. And boy, them guys are really, it seems like they're really beefing up. If all of them are kind of beefing up like Mr. Dick said, I tell you what, we gonna have something special at Florida State, aren't we?
That's right, absolutely. We can only hope.
That's a lost thought. That's something that was kind of lost a little bit last year with the offseason. Well, not lost a little bit. It was almost lost altogether. Was just a year of strength and conditioning. Nothing was normal about it. Like, they were away for 2 or 3 months. They came back and had to do quarantine and close contact tracing, and who knows how many guys were in the weight room full time year round. Not many of them. And you just missed all that. You didn't get to see the gains last year that I think you normally would have in a normal season. And I think, although again, it hasn't technically been a normal offseason, it's been as close to the normal that we grew up with, that we know. And I just think you'll see bigger gains, much bigger gains this year than you did last year when they were at home lifting milk jugs and stuff. They're actually in there, as Aslan's piece pointed out. They're in there really, really working hard. And that's one of the look. There was I don't know if it was the secret to Alabama, but there's a reason Georgia paid that dude over $1 million to come be on their staff, the Corcoran guy, right?
Yeah,
like
Cochran.
Cochran. That is a huge part of a college football program, and they missed it all last year. They didn't get hardly any of it with storms.
Yeah. What's on your mind tonight, Daryl?
One thing I wanted to ask you about is, I know we have most people have a concern about the offensive line, but I saw them make a real improvement from 2019 to 2020, and I really expect them to make a big jump from 20 to 21. And of course, then the defensive line, we went out there and got some players, Johnson, and then another player from South Carolina, and we got some guys to kind of help fill in the defensive front. So and then we got some in the secondary. Do you think that would help plug in some holes and help maybe get that defense? I know they were kind of dead last in the NCAA. So what number in the defense do we need to be to kind of help us to get from that, I guess, 5 or that 6 to 7 win period up to maybe a 8 or 9 win team, Corey?
Oh yeah, no, I don't know, top 20, but that's a pipe dream. I don't see that happening. I don't know that the depth is there yet, especially on the defensive line. I think they have some players in the secondary. We have no idea what to expect of the linebackers. The only one that really has done anything at the college level is hurt right now. We have no idea what his availability will be to start the season or just in the season as a whole with Emmett Rice. So, to get to 9 wins, it would have to be a monumental jump, or Mackenzie Milton would have to win the Heisman and win every game 51-50. I do think that, as a shout out to Van Halen, I do think that, if you could get, I mean, I hate to say this, man. I grew up with this program too, folks. If you can get in the top 50, if you can get in the top 55, if you're middle of the road, if you're right in the middle, smack dab in the middle of defenses in this country, I think you can get to 7 or 8 wins. I think that would be good enough because I think the offense will take a nice leap forward with better quarterback play. But other than that, yeah, it would take a incredible, like Broyles Award-winning effort from Adam Fuller to get this defense where it needs to be against this schedule to win 9 games, right? I just think it's a tough schedule. I think they could be much improved and still finish 6-6 because the schedule's pretty tough. They actually have to play Clemson and Florida this year. So that doesn't help things. But I do think to get to where you want to be, to get to a bowl, to have a winning season, to get some momentum going, top 60-ish, yeesh, it hurts saying that.
Yeah. Well, I pointed out when we had this discussion, I think it was North Carolina that was 63rd in total defense. Now they had a top 5 offense, and they kind of offset it. But yeah, I mean, if Florida
they had 2 NFL running backs, right? In a Heisman candidate at quarterback, a first round pick at quarterback, probably. They have a little more talent on offense than. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's your blueprint. But North Carolina's offense was really, really good last year.
Yeah.
If I may, can I ask one more quick question?
Certainly, Daryl.
If I know they're talking about maybe bringing Comcast in. Maybe like in mid-October to late October or something like that with the Disney contract. If they do something like that, then say the ACC thinks about expanding sometime maybe next year or something like that, would Cincinnati be a good team to bring in with the Ohio? With the Ohio region, bringing in the Ohio region with like 11 million people in that area, watching, something like that.
I think Cincinnati has a nice following in that city, more so than like Boston College and Boston. But Daryl, I don't want the ACC to do that again. The only reason they went to Boston was to get that market. And what has Boston College done for the ACC? Nothing. I think the next same with I guess
Syracuse and New York City, right?
Yeah, Syracuse and New York City, Pitt to a lesser extent. Pittsburgh's not a huge metropolis, but it is a city, a sort of big one. Beautiful ballparks, by the way, there. But I think this expansion, man, if they're going to expand, you can't do it on population and TV market for programs that don't traditionally get a lot of interest in those cities. Like Cincinnati is an NFL town. Houston is an NFL town. You've got to go with a brand. Brands matter in college football, in my opinion, much more than metropolises and like Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech doesn't bring a ton of eyes to the ACC network, and Georgia Tech's in downtown Atlanta. So I just think you get away. Let's get away from thinking about. And Cincinnati's got a nice program, by the way. But let's get away from thinking about going to a big city to try to reach that market if that city hasn't proven to be a college football hotbed, and maybe go more towards a brand. Maybe one in South Bend, Indiana.
Well said.
Just throwing that out there. Daryl, you're the best, buddy.
All right. Well, thank y'all very much, and y'all remember drink Cataluna coffee and. Most important, sign up for warchant.com. Hit that thumbs up, guys, and I enjoyed listening to y'all each and every time y'all come on. And thank y'all for having a show on a Thursday, because I missed it last week because of having to be at church. But I love watching y'all guys. Y'all always excite me with everything y'all do. I love you, and let's go Noles. Let's go beat Notre Dame. Let's have a good season. And hey, let's shoot for the stars, and let's win those 9 games. God bless, guys. Bye bye.
There he is. Let's go. Come on. How does that put a smile on your face, man?
Daryl coming correct. I like it. What a way to view life, man. What a great way to view life. Just live life like that.
Appreciate the call. Thank you very much, Daryl. Also, as a value subscriber, warchant.com, we appreciate your patronage very much so as well. Khalil's here, y'all. Let's get to it, man. Khalil, is it a retro question? Let's see here. Is it on the future? Oh,
no, it's present day.
He's in season mode now. Khalil's ready. He's out of off-season questions, which we always appreciate, Khalil. Thank you. Always bring good questions, good thought-provoking questions. Thank you for the $20. Thank you. 4 guys, both sides of the ball, you want to see take a big step forward. Good gosh. 8 guys he wants us to name. Come on, Khalil. It's an hour-long show. Pokey, I'm guessing Brian Robinson, Cam McDonald, Toafili for Khalil on offense. Defense, he says Travis J., Jarvis Brownlee, Steven Dix Jr., and Amari Gaynor. I'd throw Cooper in there, maybe swap out one of your guys. Coop, come on, man. Let's eat, Coop. I mean, let's eat. This is it. This is money-making season. Let be a disruptive force, man. Be a Darnell Dockett. Be Pig Womble at this point. Give me some Jeff Womble, maybe a disruptive force.
Dunwoody's finest, Jeff Womble. Yeah. Dunwoody, Georgia, stand up. I don't know if I'm going to name 8 guys. I like these names. The one thing I would say, my first instinct when I see a Pokey out there is like, man, he's old. He's a veteran. What would lead us to believe he's going to take a big step forward when he's already? You think he's ready? Like he's made. He is who he is.
Quarterback throwing him the football.
But that's exactly the counterpoint. Is look who he's had throwing him the football his whole career. And look who he has now, maybe. I think you could see big steps with all those pass catchers. Again, Kenny Shaw didn't just become a sensational receiver as last year. He all of a sudden had somebody that saw the middle of the field and hit him coming out of breaks, and he was, Kenny Shaw's Kenny Shaw. Maybe these guys are better than we think, and they've just had poor quarterback play. That's the optimistic hope when it comes to these receivers. And I think Cam McDonald's a really good pick. He is a guy that I think has a chance to have a breakout season, especially with better quarterback play. I think he could be a matchup problem. And I just think that he's a guy that you're waiting. This is it now. You've been waiting on him for a while. This is it. You want to see him have a big season. And then we all know how I feel about Toafili. He might be the truth. He is the truth. Gaynor's a great one on defense.
So is Travis J. I'm not as bullish on Travis J as everybody else, but yes, man, if he's going to live up to the potential that everybody thought he had coming out of Madison County High School, and every assistant coach that he's had here at Florida State said really good things about him, now's the time, man. There's, I think the health's checking out okay. All the grades are in order. He's good to go on that aspect. So let's start producing. Really good mentions, though, Khalil. Good stuff, man. We appreciate it. Thank you very much, Khalil.
Thank you, Khalil.
Let's keep rolling here on. Whoa, look at this guy. He's back, y'all.
What's up, James?
Let's go, James. $100. He's alive and well. You guys should hang out. You're going to be in Pensacola in a few weeks, right, Corey?
That's right. I am at the Pensacola Seminole Booster Club event, late August. Yeah. I wish 28th? I should know the date. I want to say the 28th, but it's on the internet somewhere. Look that up. Jeff Cameron and I will be heading over there to be the guest speakers at that. So get in line early. You want to get a good seat for that one. You want to be close to the dais. By the way, your sound effects seem a little low today. Is that on purpose?
No, not necessarily. I'll turn them up a little bit. I appreciate you looking out, though. I like the on-the-fly producing.
I want James B. and Mark to feel the weight of their donation, their tips. A little louder. Yeah, a little louder, I guess.
Subtle. I'm trying to keep it subtle. I'm trying to make it,
I got you.
Good for everybody.
Dix is another one too, right? Like just you want, because you see the way he's put together. And again, this isn't a male model show, but if you go see that video, I don't know. Was it 1% body fat, 0.02% body fat? It looks like he was just carved out of granite. You want to see that actually produce on the football field, like Greg Jones and like Ron Simmons and guys that have had that build in the past. And again, like he said in that piece, it was a lot to learn as a true freshman being thrown into the mix like he did. He's had a full off season too, and experience, which is a really big deal.
Ernie Sims too. Let's not forget about well-chiseled men performing at Florida State.
Yeah.
James B says, "What's up, fellas? Figured it was time to make an appearance. It's been a while, James. Glad that you're well. We do see you commenting though on the video, so we know you are doing well. Thank you for the compliment, James. Do appreciate it." He says he thinks that Dix will make huge strides on the field this season. What say y'all? Man, I mean, I really can't do anything but underscore Corey's points that, I mean, he physically looks the part, which I hate. I got to stop saying the looks the part eye test thing. But I mean, I like the answer that he gave me when I asked him about, like, do you get more confidence when you do see these gains that you're making in the weight room? And he talked about, and last season was difficult. There was a lot of growing pains, but he really feels that he needed kind of that. I don't think that was the plan for him, obviously, to go on and have struggles, but he feels that he learned what he needed to from that. And he admitted it, man. That's the really refreshing part about both those guys, how honest they were and how candid they were.
Yeah.
So that, I went on the field, and the biggest thing on my mind is don't screw up. Like, don't let down my coaches. Don't let down my teammates. Now it's let me go make a play. It's not like I don't want to disappoint these guys. Like, let me go make you guys proud and let me make some plays. So he's embracing it. All the other guys in the weight room that see him, like the super seniors, the fifth-year transfer guys, like they even, they kind of, defer to him quite a bit in the weight room. Now, hopefully that will translate to the field. Coach Storm says that it does. Leading, you have to start small before you can lead big, is what he said in the video. And leading in the weight room can pay dividends on the field. So we certainly hope so, man. And how nice would it be to have at least one guy producing quite well at the second level? Dix is probably the odds-on favorite with Emmett's health unknown at this point. So
it's crazy that he ever steps away from a mirror.
I know. How would you
not just wake up and go straight to the mirror, or just have your selfie on the whole time, just Instagramming it? It's crazy. Good for you. Good for you, Steven. Well done. And I see Ed Limix just posted August 26th in Pensacola.
August 26th. There we go. Ed, good man. Ed's a good man. Actually, let's just go ahead and give him his music regardless.
Guys, this is a very special occasion. The Godfather himself has been kind enough to grace us with his presence. The Godfather. This is his damn house. He lives there. He sleeps 20 feet away.
Ed, the man behind the great company that is DeLuna Coffee, he and his son Brett, as well as the lovely Mrs. Lemix, making things work for us. We do appreciate it. Jeff wants some of this coffee. He's going to give it the thumbs up, I think, too. He's super stoked about that, Ed. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it. One other thing I want to mention about the video thing that I did, shout out to Coach Storm's Coach Norvell. Coach Norvell's the first guy that vetted it and said okay to it, and also the sports information department that helped coordinate everything. Hopefully, and Corey's mentioned this so many times, if you give us access, we can do some cool stuff for you guys. Like, we want to showcase what's going on with this football team. We want these folks, these fans that are so diehard and live and breathe with everything that's going on to be able to see what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And it's super awesome that they let me do that. I don't think anybody else would let us do that, really. I don't think any other Power 5 program is letting guys come in the weight room with a camera and fiddle around. So thanks a lot to them for giving us the access. Without the access, that's an absolute nothing story. So shout out to them. We got some phone calls, but thanks again to James B. Thomas.
Thank you, James.
Is here. He says for us to DM him on his Warchant account so he can mail us shirts. Well, Thomas, can you DM me? Because I don't know your handle on Warchant. So either DM myself or Corey. And I don't even know what the shirts are, but I'm excited for them. I like new clothes. I love my new Warchant polo. I'll probably wear this tomorrow.
Yeah, I am wearing this tomorrow. I'm fired up about this.
Yeah, let's go. Thank you, Thomas. We give you some love. You get a little bit of that.
Dollar bills, y'all.
A little bit of that as well.
Old Giddy. Old Thomas Giddy.
There we go. That's right. Here we go. Speaking of Giddy, he's going to be stoked. He was a bit forlorn, I feel like, over in the Villages. He hadn't heard from me in a while, Corey, so I'm just going to let you guys bro out for a little bit. It's Wes in the Villages. Wes, what's up, man?
Corey, where have you been all my life? Clark.
What's up, Wes? How are you, buddy?
What's up, buddy? Hey, I appreciate the shout out last night or last week on the podcast. Said something about me calling in on the recruiting show, so I appreciate the shout out.
I told you, man. I told you I would.
Felt the love.
All right,
nice. So you guys, what is it? 1 month from today, FSU football kicks off against Notre Dame. 1 month.
31
yeah, exactly 1 month. We're 30 days away. Unbelievably. What are we? 31 days away, I guess.
31. It's the 6th, isn't it? The 6th?
Yeah.
I should know this.
Man, that's crazy. It's coming up fast.
Oh, it's the 5th. Well, then we are 30 days.
31 days.
There you go.
Yep. So you guys are going to be live in person. Camp kicks off this week. What are you guys most looking forward to see in person? And I make sure, I think I heard this on another show, but you guys are going to be able to shoot video.
What do you mean? You heard on another show? What are you talking about? What are these other shows you're talking about, Wes?
No,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
One of your shows.
No, man. Yeah, they're going to let us film. They're going to let us watch the entire thing. Sounds like they're going to let us watch the whole kit and caboodle. We can film probably the first 15 or 20 minutes of practice. They'll probably give us, 3 periods. Each period's usually 7 minutes or so. So we'll be able to film. I'll be out there. Austin Cox will be out there. Tom Lang will be out there. So 2 out of the 3 of us will be filming every single second they let us film. So there will be footage from practice. And they do practice Saturday, and I think they're actually going to practice Sunday and Monday as well. So whenever they've practiced, they're going to have it open for the media. They're going to give us a little session to be able to take photos and video. We'll be doing it. Gene will be out there snapping photos too.
Yeah. But as far as what we're looking forward to, oh man, it's a lot, dude. The easy answer is quarterbacks, but I don't want to take the easy answer. We're just talking about how bad the defense was, so you want to see them play better. You want to see DBs go up and make plays, but at the same time, like I talked about a lot in the spring, man, wouldn't it be nice to see receivers take a big step up and start making game-changing, drive-changing, scoreboard-changing type plays? They didn't do that a whole lot in the spring that I saw. They had a nice spring game, so let's see if that carries over a little bit. I want to see what that looks like, and I'm really interested in what Parchment looks like. I know he had some big games at Kansas against real teams now, but it was still Kansas. I do want to see what he looks like compared to the rest of the Florida State receivers. Is he going to be a true number 1 type option for Milton or Travis? Those are probably, and they're the easiest to see. Jermaine Johnson, I know is going to be really hard to block. So I know that already. I want to see DBs breaking on balls, making plays, and I want to see what Parchment looks like.
I like that. Good answer. Good answer. He tweeted the other day, running out of chances. This one got to work. So, hey.
So he's number 7, clearly.
Yeah, although it's AP Quattro. I don't know. Maybe Dalvin didn't give his blessings on it. Who's wearing 4? I don't remember anybody wearing 4 since Dalvin left us.
That's Giorgio Newberry's number to me.
You're right. I apologize, Gio. My bad, Gio.
Giorgio Newberry has a national championship ring, man.
He does.
Put some respect on that name.
You're right. You're right. I mean, I don't know. Secondary, I want to see some ball hawking. I want to see one of those cornerbacks. I liked how you said it earlier in the show, Corey, when you talked about the quarterback play. Like, you don't want to see the flashes. We always talk about guys that flash. We want to see guys. That's what they are. That's who they are. That's what they do, is just go out there every single day and make plays. Let's get a cornerback out there that can kind of be somewhat Asante-like and handle business out there. And then the offensive line. I am kind of curious to see what's going to – I still think Devontae Love-Taylor's probably going to end up starting at left tackle. But when we spoke to him a few weeks ago at Marvin's camp, he said that he doesn't even know where he'll be lining up at, and he's been practicing everywhere on the offensive line. Curious to see if, how quickly Dylan Gibbons can integrate into the offense, if he will be running for the first team. If Dante Lucas has shed some of that weight that he gained this offseason, which I don't think they told him to. So I'm going to keep my eye on the offensive line, and defensively, let's see some cornerbacks make some plays.
And Miko Dotson. To be specific, I want to see Miko Dotson do anything. He was basically, and that's not his fault. He got hurt, but he didn't really contribute at all last year. I want to see how healthy that guy is and what he looks like when he's healthy.
Yeah. Well said. What else you got, Wes?
So I'm curious, you guys, Kalen Lieber enrolled back in school, and I saw something from him about, he's got his grades up. And I don't know if he's, Norvell believes in second chances, but with him. But do you think there's any chance they might get back on the team as a walk-on, or do you think that book's chapter, that's all closed? Do you think no chance?
Corey, you're more senior than I am at this website and on this beat. How about you? That's a tough one, man. When I saw like these posts being made on the board, I'm like, no way, man. Like, this wasn't. It didn't seem like an amicable breakup. They seem kind of set at running back. I know you can't have too many. I don't have a lot of inside knowledge on this one. It seems to me to be improbable, but I guess that's something that we could bring up to Norvell. I'll try to do some more research on to see if it's whether that's something I can ask him without looking like a complete idiot that just reads message board stuff. No offense to anybody.
And we'll see those coaches tomorrow, so that could certainly be something we broach with them then. And also, like, it seems it would be an incredible story, but there've been plenty of those throughout history. Javian Elliott, that dude was working at a Foot Locker for 2 or 3 years after high school, and then walks on, becomes a contributor, and then plays for the Bucks. So crazier things that happen. Nobody doubts Kalen's ability. So yeah, man. I mean, he might be good enough to work himself up that depth chart really quickly, even if he does come back out there. But that's I guess we'll definitely ask, and we'll know more about that tomorrow, and certainly Saturday when practice starts. But that is something to at least ask about and get an idea of where they're at.
Cool. One last thing, I'll make it quick. I'm curious, Corey, especially your take, but Aslan, you can obviously chime in. We know what we're doing in recruiting, killing it, obviously, over the summer. Offensive line, crazy, just insane class. I'm curious about legacy recruits. You get the sense, like Armella and Jones Jr., like, not saying we won't get either one of them, but like, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't. I feel like when it comes to FSU and some of these, kids' fathers were such all-stars at FSU that they while they're interested in the school and love the school, they want to go elsewhere to make their own name. And it just seems like we don't, like, it's just not a slam dunk to get a legacy recruit. Do you think it's more because they just don't want to come live under their father's shadow, or is there something else? I just want to get your take on that.
No, I don't. I think that could maybe be part of it, but I just think when you reach that level of a Marvin Jones, like, he loves Florida State. I don't think anybody would question Marvin Jones' love for Florida State, and I think he wants his son to go to Florida State. But when you're that good and you've been through the recruiting process yourself, and you were a kid from Miami that went away, even though the hometown team recruited you really heavily, and I'm sure all his buddies in Miami wanted him to stay, and there was a lot of pressure. I know his brother went to Florida State, but there was a lot of pressure. His brother, Fred, was a good player. He wasn't Marvin. You've been through that. So I think those guys, those dads, look at it a little differently than like I would. You know what I mean? Like Brady, if I was Brady, you're going to Florida State. That's just what you're doing. Marvin's lived it. So he wants his son to make his own decision because Marvin got to make his own decision. So I think that might have as much to do with it as a shadow. And I would say the most famous one of these ever would be Archie Manning and Peyton. And Peyton angered the entire state of Mississippi by not going to his dad's alma mater. Now his brother ended up going there a few years later, but he didn't. I think Archie didn't pressure him at all. Archie was like, do what you want, because Archie lived that life. He lived that. And I think Marvin would want his son to go to Florida State, would love it, but he's also not going to, I don't think he'd be the dad that's like, you're definitely going. And with that in mind, yeah, there probably is a little bit of pressure when that's your last name. It's not like he's Jason Jones. That's Marvin's son. I didn't know that. His name is Marvin Jones Jr. Like that is some serious pressure when your dad is one of 5 or 6 guys that has their number up there. That is some pressure. But I think it also just has to do with those kind of dads, the dads that have lived that recruiting life and been big time superstar players. They're not all about pressuring their kid. They really do want their kid to make the best decision for them. Most of them, I think. So but that would be some serious pressure. But that kid, man, good grief. Have you seen the pictures of him, Wes? I mean, he is a beast.
Yeah. Yes. We need him.
Yeah. Hey, and I'm all about Marvin, do what you got to do. I'm not Marvin. If I were you, I'd make him go there. I'm just saying, I don't know that Marvin thinks the same way that Corey Clark thinks about this kind of stuff. But yeah, Marvin definitely, Marvin wants him to go. It's just, I think he also probably is going to step back and try to let his son make his own decision. But that decision at the end of the day needs to be Florida State. Let's quit kidding ourselves, Wes. Come on.
Exactly. Hey, real quick, Aslan, I'll wrap it up, but you have already had your horn tooted enough, but I'll tack on to it. That video about the strength and conditioning program was awesome.
Thank you, man.
You had to be sitting in front of Stephen Dix and being like, 240, what? The guy's chiseled out of like concrete statue. It's ridiculous. Nobody should look that perfect. And the fact that he eats the way he does, it's like, come on, man, that ain't fair. Keep that to yourself. It's awful. But I have one small request that I think we all, Corey, you, everybody listens, could get on board with. We need if we couldn't get it weekly, as often as possible, got to have live video interviews with Robert Scott.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That guy, I mean, it's gold, literally gold. That guy, when he talks, my goodness. I mean, holy smokes. It was too much. I had to watch it back twice just to take it in. It was fantastic.
Nice.
Awesome. Good. I'm glad you liked it. Again, I was a little bit concerned that people might think that he was just, maybe he doesn't take it seriously, but I'm glad everybody seems to see how awesome of a kid he is. So I'm glad.
No, he's awesome. No, you can just tell that's his personality.
Yeah.
He ain't fake or no, that's just him. So it was genuine. It was cool. So I appreciate it. Hey, you guys, thanks, Corey. Good talking to you. We'll catch up again soon. You guys, and have a good evening. Good luck this weekend. Try to stay hydrated and cool. And
Nice.
Everybody, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to warchant.com, the best in the business. And don't forget to drink your delicious DeLuna coffee. Go Noles. Have a good evening, fellas.
Do what the man
done,
told you. That's Wes in the Villages, everybody. We appreciate it. Thank you, Wes. Yeah, if you could, folks, hit that thumbs up button. Helps bring this video out to the forefront in terms of all the other stuff that's on YouTube. And the more people that watch this, the better off everything is. So
subscribe too. Subscribe. It'll pop up. It'll populate more on YouTube as well.
The little bell, all that kind of good stuff. We got 2 more calls in the queue. We'll take those and then start winding things down here. Let's get back to YouTube. Speaking of Houston being an NFL town.
Been on my life, Ray.
Also this guy. It's this guy's hometown. Let's go. Ray, what's up, Ray? Come on,
Been
man.
too long, Ray.
I mean, James is trying to get a hold of you on LinkedIn. I mean, the lengths people go to hang out with Ray Pereira knows no bounds. Ray, thank you very much. $100 in the jar for us. Maybe we'll divert that to the Robert Scott NIL fund to get him as maybe a weekly contributor on the program. Aslan, with a 5-star. I like that. Maybe
Nice.
that'll be my new Twitter handle.
Probably
Hardcore
not.
Corey.
Hey, I like Hardcore Corey better than Hard Corey. I like that better than that hashtag, Ray. I appreciate that. Yeah.
I'll be at the game and hope to see y'all somewhere. There's something in the plans for all this, Ray. I assure you.
There's definitely something planned on Saturday.
Yes,
for sure. The Saturday before the game at an establishment. I don't think the last details have quite been worked out. I don't think to make public, but there will be something on Saturday for all Warchant viewers and subscribers to come to.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that one. Also, I wonder where our guy Ralph from Hawaii is. I think he should be in Tallahassee right about now. He said he's going to be hanging out for like a week before the game, so hopefully Ralph's in town. We can all get together. All right, where do you think Notre Dame is vulnerable that we can capitalize? I haven't looked at my scouting report yet, Corey. I hope you have.
So, man, they lost a lot on offense. Now, that the running back they're bringing back is pretty talented. It's Notre Dame. What are you going to do? But they lost 4 linemen, including Gibbons. They lost 5 out of their top 7 linemen, if you want to look at it that way, because he was probably their 7th lineman last year, 6th or 7th. And they lost their quarterback, who won a ton of games and made a lot of big plays for them. Now, they got the kid from Wisconsin to transfer in, but he's not Ian Book. So, if you want to look at vulnerability, I right away, you look at the front 5 and hope that, okay, they're Notre Dame kids, so they're probably pretty good. We understand that. But they're also not, they've not a lot of experience. They lost a ton of guys. They lost 4 seniors and Gibbons from their top 7 offensive linemen. So I think maybe that's where you can capitalize a little bit. It's just, hope your defensive line, especially the first game, because again, I think depth will be an issue as we get later in the season. But that first game, you hope to have everybody there, and maybe you can make life pretty harder anyway than it was last year for crying out loud. So, and I don't think that quarterback's great. He's not Ian Book. He's decent. I think he's probably a better version of Hornibrook, but he's a Wisconsin transfer. He transferred from Wisconsin.
On the screen, people that are watching on YouTube can see this is from Phil Steele via the Notre Dame website on the Rivals.com network, where he's got them ranked nationally by position. Pretty well-rounded. Funny enough, though, offensive line 54th, quarterback 38th, receivers 33rd. Maybe we're looking at the mirror. Maybe we're the Spider-Man meme, pointing at each other,
right
when we collide on there. So defensively, though, that looks pretty solid. I don't see a lot of holes in there, but they move the ball on them in South Bend, so not too concerned about that. I think it's more what can Florida State do to disrupt them, more so than getting this offense back to where we think they can be. Because I think the offense is going to produce. Can we slow Notre Dame down? Hopefully. It's a new quarterback, a lot of new guys on the offensive line. I'll get a scouting report detailed up here soon, Ray. I promise. I was busy with the video the other night.
Ray, you're the man, though, buddy.
Yeah.
You are the man. Good to have you back. And, definitely we'll announce some places we're going to be that weekend. I think we might be even doing something Sunday, the day of the game. We're definitely doing something Saturday, though, and just stay tuned. The next time we do this or when we're doing the podcast and it's official, we'll advertise it a lot to make sure as many of you guys can get out there as possible.
There we go. Another pillar. It's Ed. Ed's back this time with a wad of cash. Let's go, Ed.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Ed, man. Too nice, dude. Too nice, Ed.
We right here. Where are the lunatics at? I am ready to head to Tally. Hope we can all meet somewhere. Yep. If not, we'll meet at the Unconquered statue at your guys' tailgate, Ed, right? We can always crash the tailgate with the
We
Luna.
can do that for sure, yeah.
Thank you, Ed. I mean, you do all this for us. You give us his tumblers, give us his free coffee. You let us put your name on the screen, and you give us cold, hard cash. He's a die-hard freaking Florida State fan, big-time alumnus, booster, all that good stuff. You help the Luna, you help everybody. You're helping yourself. You're getting better by drinking the coffee. Thank you, Ed. We appreciate it. Let's hop back into the queue real quick. Let's knock out one of these phone calls. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's our guy down in Naples. It's our guy, Mark. Mark, what's going on, man?
Wake up! Let's go. I've been holding that in all summer.
Sounded like you almost sang it.
Felt it down in my plums.
Yeah, that felt great. Good job.
Oh, man. Got so much to say, so many questions.
Well, let's go. Let's go.
I mean, I will say that, I think the one thing about our chance of beating Notre Dame is they probably don't have a lot of meaningful film on this team with all the new faces.
Okay.
And
I like that.
the new, and so that's kind of one of my theories is like it's game one. We're at home at Doak at night, and we could come out and punch them right in the mouth, kind of like we did in North Carolina last year. So that's kind of why I'm really optimistic. But my question for tonight is I've been kind of feeling, last few weeks, a lot of excitement, but I don't really know what to expect. So have you guys ever gone into a season where you've covered FSU where you're excited, but you really don't know exactly how it's going to go? I remember I had that feeling. I don't want to really bring this up, but I will before the 2018 opener against Virginia Tech. But I feel like this is going to be different. So do you guys feel the same way? And how is this going to be different? I just feel like it's going to be.
I don't know that I've ever gone into a season quite like this. In 18, I did think they were. We all did. We thought they were going to be much better than they ended up being. Part of that was because of Akers. Part of that was because of you got Francois back, and you thought, okay, well, I remember him from 16. The offensive line clearly won't be that bad, and we were all wrong. So, but I going into that season, I was pretty optimistic about that team. I thought it was like an 8 or 9 win team because they had been so close to 9 wins the previous year. But we were all wrong, and there were some cracks in the foundation that we didn't see until it was too late. But this year, the unknown, I don't know if we ever had anything like this. Not only are you coming off a COVID season where you didn't get to learn a ton about a lot of these guys anyway, but half of your starting 22 is going to be transfers, close to it. 10 of your 22 are going to be guys you've never seen. So really, you have no idea what to expect of a defense with Jamie Robinson, Keir Thomas, Jermaine Johnson. These guys have never played together with Akeem Den out there on Akeem Den Island. So that's what's so fascinating about this season. Not only is it your first year with Norvell having a full season to see what gains can be made with a staff like this, but also the inundation of transfers. You have no idea. I mean, how could you go into this season knowing what to expect? And on the other side of the ball, you might have Mackenzie Milton at quarterback, and his number one receiver is a kid from Kansas.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, what's going on?
What's going on there?
Yeah,
Mark?
Mrs. Adamczyk pouring you an extra glass of orange juice or something?
She just served me some London broil with asparagus and potatoes.
Oh, nice. Well, cool, man.
This guy living the dream.
I'm gonna have some leftover pizza when we're done with this. Congrats, Mark. Anyway, so that was my point. Congrats on the London broil, but I think that I hope you got a little hollandaise or béarnaise sauce with it. I think the transfers is what makes it so unique and unlike any season we've ever gone into before. It really could. There's a swing. I don't think I've ever gone into a season where I thought they could win 4 games or 8 games. Like they could go to a decent bowl or be terrible. That's where I am with this season because we just don't know. I think they'll be better, but how could we know for sure?
Yeah, I mean, you know I'm the ever optimist, but I kind of feel the same way. I mean, if we come out and beat Notre Dame or be competitive, the schedule is sort of light. I mean, arguably for the next 5 weeks, and then it gets really tough. So they could get some confidence in themselves and win 7 or 8, 9 games, or it could go the other way. But I think we'll find out in a few weeks. But it's a super exciting season for the reason that Norvell's kicking butt. The strength and conditioning, Aslan, props to that video. I know you've gotten a lot on that today, but it really looks like they're working hard. And that they could come out and punch Notre Dame in the mouth and represent FSU at home at Doak. That's what I'm hoping for. We'll go from there.
All right. We like it, Mark. Go enjoy your London broil and your beautiful family now, and I'll sit here.
I'll tell you what I did, Aslan, to answer your question real quick.
Yeah.
So, my son hadn't played golf for 6 months, and, he's doing the beach thing and playing basketball, and Corey might, learn, maybe this will work with Brady. So he, starting high school in 5 days, we said, you're going to try out for the golf team, or you're going to do community service. He has to get community service hours for the Bright Futures. He picked golf. So
there you go. Okay. So we know now that golf is better than like picking up trash on the side of the road. He likes golf more than that. And we'll slowly start building them up to like loving the sport again.
That's the plan.
There we go. Life hack, everybody, courtesy of our guy Mark in Naples. Mark, thanks for the call. Thanks for the
Thank you very
tip
much,
earlier
man.
in the show too, man. That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Love you guys. Drink some Luna coffee. I'm about to go have another glass of iced coffee. Thanks, Ed, and go Noles.
There we go. That's our guy down in Naples. That's Mark, y'all. Thanks so much. Enjoy that London broil. Let's take our last call, and then we'll empty out all these great YouTube comments and questions that we have from everybody that's been posting. We do see everything, or I see most things. I can't pull them all up, but I try. Let's go down to the Tampa area. Caller, who's this? And where exactly in the Tampa Bay area are you calling us from?
Marchtown.
Yes.
Touchdown. Oh,
Is
okay.
it T-Bone?
It's Tommy. It's T-Bone.
T-Bone, happy belated birthday, big guy.
Getting ready to start the third grade. Man.
Oh. Nope. Your birthday looked awesome. How good were the cupcakes?
Oh, they were great.
They were. Trying to pull up the photos your dad sent us. It looked like a big time. I'm glad all your friends, hopefully all those Louisville kids are going to be nicer to you. Hopefully we'll be able to beat Louisville. That'll be like a late birthday gift on behalf of Coach Norvell to you.
Oh, that would be a birthday miracle.
Not a miracle. Let's say a little optimistic.
It'd be a nice win. It's not a miracle quite yet, but yeah, I got you. I see you, T-Bone.
Oh, Tommy. So my question is, can Josh Storm get my dad into shape?
Can Josh Storms get his dad into shape, Corey? What do you think about that one?
You know what I was thinking about, man? Like, it would be a really funny video if for like a month, like literally, like we can do this now. We have enough manpower. If he tried to sculpt my body and how long it would take, like if I went in twice a week in the off season, so not when he's actually, you think he'd be willing to do that?
That's T-Bone, by the way, and that's his father and mother. That's Dave and Bardstown on the left of everybody. So you don't think I'm just pulling up random pictures of families. You guys can all see my emails right now too, which I feel a little bit naked. Anyhow, carry on.
Yeah. But yeah, so I feel like if I went in there and did I'm an average dude. If I went in there and did that workout, number one, how quick until I puke? and then how quick until I get okay with it, and then I want to do a before and after where I look sort of like Steven Dix in a year.
Okay.
Now, that would be great content.
Absolutely.
You get the, yeah. So I don't know, because your dad lives in Kentucky, T-Bone, so it's going to be hard. But I live right here in town. So Storms, I'm just going to roll over there and see if he can help me out. I got to do the what do we call that one squat?
Goblet.
Got to do the goblet squat first, and then I'll go from there.
Ooh, burns the knees. Yeah, well, your dad looks like he's in pretty good shape, T-Bone. He's still out there playing ball with you and riding around on bicycles. So I don't think it wouldn't be that hard to get old Dave in shape.
Have you seen him?
Oh, come on.
Man.
Who's feeding you these things?
These kids.
Gosh, kids are so mean sometimes. All right, T-Bone, we appreciate it. How's your dad doing? Dad, are you there?
Oh, yeah. I'm good. That was actually really hilarious. Okay. That was a great burn.
It was. He's quick on his feet. That's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I just want to say, last spring, Corey was really concerned about the lighting in, these live, and he's got the lighting issue fixed, which is really important to all of us because that's what we tune into Warchant for.
Right. You want this right here. Yeah, this is the moneymaker. Yeah. And I've got the cable fixed, the wireless fixed, because Gene bought me a 50-foot Ethernet cord. So I'm plugged in all the way across the house with my Ethernet cable. So hopefully we won't have any audio issues anymore. And I really want to interview John Pock again because I blew that one so badly because I didn't have the Ethernet hookup. So, but yeah, we're trying our best here, man. It's a real operation. It's a real operation with a lot of really good people on this staff.
My daughter Lilo has a question. She actually, today was her first day of kindergarten, by the way.
Oh, geez.
How many wins are we gonna get this year?
They asked the best questions. Let's get down to brass tacks, Corey. How many wins?
Look, I would say I'm going to ride with 7. I think 7 is a good number. I think that would be a very nice step up from last year. I'm going to go with 7. That's a great question. And I'll say this, you're going to win more games than Louisville. So Tell all your kids, tell all your friends in the kindergarten class that. Florida State will have more wins than Louisville.
I like it.
I'll co-sign that. Dave, we're going to wrap it up, man. Thank you for the call, and thanks to your beautiful family for getting involved. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
That's Dave in Bardstown, Kentucky, although he calls from 813 number. You figured I'd figured this out by now, but obviously I've not. I'm the guy that has to keep putting his hand on the hot stove. All right, let's get to it, man. Look at all these great, man. Our YouTube is blowing up. William McMillan, shout out, William, for that super sticker. I don't even know what it looks like. Somebody tell me what it looks like. I can't even see it, but I'm sure it looks beautiful. Thank you very much, William. We do appreciate it. Matthew Cash, name apropos.
Yeah, man.
Through. A little
straight cash. A little straight cash.
I am trying to be realistic with my expectations, which we all should be in all facets of our life. I always get excited and always expect more, whether it's real or not. Is there a reason to think we can finish higher than Vegas's predictions?
Sure.
5.5.
Yeah, 5.5 isn't a big number, and Vegas is wrong a good bit too. You know what I mean? I don't know that they build their I think they build their casinos more on the table games than they do the sports book, Aslan. Wouldn't you agree with that? Probably.
I don't know. You're almost speaking from experience, it sounds like.
I just feel like the odds are, yes, especially this past weekend. Good grief. I think I might have built another one in Mississippi with that nonsense. But yeah, I do. Again, the unknown. How could anybody have a real solid sense of what this team is going to be? You couldn't last year because it was a first-year coach and it was COVID. And then this year, it's a second-year coach, second-year coach that has 11 new players. And if you count freshmen, probably 15 new players that will play and contribute that they didn't have last year. So, and the quarterback play will be completely different. So I think there's a reason to be optimistic, or at least to think that Vegas doesn't know, because Vegas hasn't seen this team together yet. How could they have? Nobody has. So there is an unknown there.
I get it. It's, part of me was a little bit apprehensive making that story because I'm like, man, I don't want to be the guy that gives false hope, but I don't think there's false hope when you're seeing the team kind of growing together, just the importance of them being able to actually work out in a real world-class facility for an entire year, and just how much that can help, your mental strength, being able to go out there and perform rep after rep. So, yeah, man, we're talking about 5.5. I mean, let's not be scared of that number. 6 for sure. 6 for sure, hopefully. We still haven't done our week-by-week rundown.
No.
It's happening.
No.
Corey's going to have to do it. It's going to happen.
Can't wait.
Thank you again, Matthew. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. Really. I know I keep saying that, but I really do mean it. It's awesome. Everybody.
Thank you very much.
Travis H dropping $5 in the jar. Thank you, Travis. Travis has been quite active on the YouTube channel. Lots of uplifting comments. He's one guy that thinks that we shouldn't really be living in the past and bad-mouthing the team, and we should look forward and ahead. So, Travis, I'll try. No promises, though. Caleb James. What's up, Caleb? Welcome to the Terror Dome, friend. Love the show. He says, hello from the big island of Hawaii. That's awesome. We got Ralph, we got Caleb, everybody out in Hawaii. Appreciate all the work you guys put in. Keep it up. How many time zones different are they from Tokyo? Like, are you able to enjoy the Olympics live, Caleb? Like, I
bet so. They're probably what would they be? Oh, they're more behind, right? They're probably 20 hours behind.
No.
Because we're 13 hours. We're 13 hours behind, and they're 5 hours behind us.
Now,
I don't know how that would work because they're so close to Japan. They're so much closer to Japan. But are they? Caleb, let us know. That's an interesting. I really do want to know. Like, where's the international date line? Is that between Hawaii and Japan?
Yeah, there you go.
So I don't know. They're like 18. They're so far behind. They can watch it live.
Look at that. Shout out to Eric and Mark as well, talking about how great the coffee for DeLuna is. I ain't lying, y'all. I'm not lying. Thomas Giddings, Thomas, I replied to your message. You didn't have to give us more money. He is a member. He is a member on warchant.com. Corey, we got T-shirts coming our way. So
thank you, Giddy.
Send them to me. I'll bring them over to you. Khalil's back. What will be the 3 most competitive games this season and why?
Georgia, Clemson to start off. Alabama, A&M. I think that'll be a close one.
I see what you did there, Corey.
He's probably talking about Florida State. Look, I think, man, I don't know. I think the first one could be really competitive. I think the weight game should be really competitive, or maybe not that competitive. Maybe Florida State blow. How about that? If Florida State just went up there and laid the wood to them? I think the first one could be competitive. Louisville, NC State, both feel like real competitive games. This team isn't good enough to think that any of them will be non-competitive. The only non-competitive one I see out there to start is Clemson. That's the only one that I don't think will be that I could foresee not being and UMass that I could foresee. Jack State could be non-competitive, but all the other ones, Syracuse, Louisville, NC State, Miami, those Boston College competitive games. We don't know what Florida's going to be. We have no idea what that quarterback's going to be. Certainly won't be as good as Trask. And they lost Pitts and their other pass catchers, so we don't know what Florida will be. So that could be really competitive. Last year would not have been, but this year it could be.
I'll go with.
I basically said every game on the schedule and didn't pick any of them. I'm going to go just to answer the question. I'm going to say Notre Dame, at Wake, and NC State.
I'll say Boston College, Miami, and Wake.
Okay.
I'll say that. Thank you, Khalil. Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
Very much, buddy.
We still have plenty to get to here, and we're going to get to it because that's what we do here. Dave, this was before he called in. T-Bone just had his first day of 3rd grade today, learning those multiplication tables. Good. That's the one thing I think.
They do that. They do that on the first day.
Hey,
let them work their way in. Teach. Hey, welcome to 3rd grade. 8 times 7. Put it on the board. Like that seems like a something maybe first month type thing.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you. Appreciate it. Travis is back. Thank you again, Travis. Give you a little more air horn. Why not?
I like his emoji thing. That's a cool looking deal.
Yeah, it's a neon light of the old Tommy Wright Florida State logo. If you could time travel back to any FSU football game, which one would it be?
Travis, I'm very lucky. If you named a really famous Florida State game of the last 35 years, which there were a lot of, I was at almost all of them because of number one, because of my dad. That was the first part of my life, and then because of the job I've had. But I was at the Michigan game in '91. I was at the national championship games. I was at the Punt Ruski. So should I say one that I've already been to like relive it?
That's what I was going to say. Would you want to relive one, or like would you want to go watch the Nebraska game, like an Oktoberfest game that you weren't able to go to?
I would go to the '80 Pitt game. My dad still, the Dan Marino was either a freshman or a sophomore. We had Bobby Butler on last year in the summer talking about that game. He was the All-American corner for Florida State, and that was maybe one of the biggest wins of Bowden's career, especially early on. It proved that '79 wasn't a fluke and that Florida State was here to stay. And back then, I don't know if I've told this story or not, but my dad would always tell this story. Back then, a quarterback, if the crowd was too loud, could turn to the referee, and the referee would quiet the crowd down, or you would get a penalty. If you were too loud, the referee would stop the game until you quieted down so the quarterback could call the play. Well, Marino did it so much that night that finally the referee was like, no. And Marino still kept arguing, and he just pointed to the center, like, snap the ball. I'm not doing it again. My dad always remembered that in the time that Marino tried to shush the crowd, and the whole crowd shushed really loudly, so it was even louder than when they were cheering. Those are the kind of stories my dad would tell. I was 4 or 5 at the time. So he told me later in life that I would love to have seen that in person. Plus the way he talks about Ron Stark punting. The 75-yard punts from his own 5-yard line. I would have loved to have been there that night. That sounds like a really fun night.
I'd say either, I guess.
And my dad, funny story, my dad, I think, ended up passing out in one of the bunkers at Killarn that night. It's a John Clark story for everyone. Anyway.
I would either say probably Ward to Dunn, 93 Florida game. Anytime you can go back and witness Florida losing in their own dump of a home, it's always uplifting and good for the soul. Maybe 99, I guess technically 2000 Sugar Bowl, just to be able to celebrate a national championship game in New Orleans, which is my favorite American city. I think I'd revel in that quite immensely. So those are my picks. Travis, thanks for the question. That's good. It's good. I want to take this one, if I can get back and find it. Just prove to you that I do read all the ones, not just the people that throw us tips. All that's super cool. Somebody's asking about whether we're speaking to the players and the coaches. Yes, we will be. In case you missed that earlier in the show.
We speak with coaches starting tomorrow, and then we get players, and we'll be able to watch practice starting Saturday.
Yeah, or today if you're listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
I can't fire it. As Trevin Howell asks, would you take 6 wins guaranteed or play it out? I like that.
Play it out. Play it out.
If you can give me if Notre Dame or Miami's one of the 6, I'll take that.
Well, yeah, sure, but you don't know that wasn't part of the stipulation. I just think you play it out because you feel like 5. You should get to 5 even if you don't have a great season. And what's one more win? Because there's a chance you can get to 8, man. There's a chance you could get to 8. You can find some magic. You could find some McKenzie magic and get to 8 or 9 wins, maybe.
See, Matt,
you're not scared of Boston College.
You look at Jacksonville State, UMass, and Syracuse. I think you can feel quite confident about those games.
And then Louisville, NC State, at BC, at Wake. I don't think you feel confident like those are guaranteed wins, but you feel confident that if you play well, you'll win. So now maybe you're right there. You're at 7. So I got you, man. I got you. It's a hard schedule for this caliber of team right now, but still, ride it out. It's what sports is all about.
There we go. Ryan Barksdale just wants to drop $20 hairs. You can post a comment, Ryan. Come on, I've never seen you around these parts.
Thank you, Ryan.
Dollar bills, y'all.
We're pushing towards the 2-hour mark here.
Yeah. That pizza's not going to eat itself.
It's not going to eat. So let me just make sure I got everybody that was so generous to Throws Eric Angel's back. Eric, golly, man, just tenacious, relentless.
Dollar bills, y'all.
9.5-point underdog versus Notre Dame. I'm taking FSU as they released odds yesterday. What will be the biggest upset besides beating Notre Dame? What, week one or us?
If you're talking about Florida State, that will be the only time other than Clemson and probably Florida. We don't know. I trust that Clemson will be a double-digit favorite against Florida State. I don't know that anybody else will for sure. Florida would have the second best chance. But again, right now, I think Florida would be a 17-point favorite. But they're not playing the game right now. So with that in mind, I don't see another one that would be like anything close to that. Like they're not beating Clemson. So, Notre Dame's your best chance to pull off a big upset. Maybe Florida at the end of the year, I guess, or Miami, but I don't even see Miami being a 10-point favorite, even though what happened last year happened.
Yeah. Unless De'Aaron King just goes bonkers, but I don't see that happening. Yeah, that'd be a stretch to be a double-digit dog at home against that team. We did it, Corey. We made it. Let me just double check that we did get to everybody as we go through the thank yous. Thank you to all the callers. Thank you to Gator Kirk. Thanks to Wes. Thanks to Dave. Thanks to Daryl. Thanks to Mark. Mark, also thank you for your tip. Ryan, Eric, Travis, Dave also tipped. Khalil, Thomas, Caleb. Travis did it twice. Matthew, William, Ed, Ray, James. I mean, Eric, Rob off the top rope to start us off. Thanks so much. Again, a reminder, Warchant is now an 800-pound gorilla on top of an elephant galloping into your lives to bring you the best coverage of your favorite football team. Monday, 1 to 3 o'clock. That's the new slot for Jeff Cameron, 1 to 3 p.m. daily on 93.3 Radio Terrestrial here in Tallahassee. It's available in podcast form. If you subscribe to him in the past, you'll still get a show. Tom's transferred everything over. It's a Jeff Cameron show with he and Tom Lang. Again, 1 to 3 daily, and we'll be here streaming live on Warchant TV. We're still going to be doing the morning podcast, if you will. It's just
Seminole headlines. Seminole headlines will be every Tuesday. That'll be live on the YouTube channel as well, where you'll actually get to see us, our bald domes, talk to each other and interact live from 1 to 3, and that'll also be in the same place where you've been getting that podcast for years now.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Ryan, who tipped $20, Corey, since you do hour number 2 for Jeff's show, what Wake Up Warchant show stopping thing will you do if this team wins 8 games or more?
I will, just because it's the day that Aslan released that video, I will ask and hopefully be granted a 1 hour. I want to do the workout that they do for an hour, and we will film it. You'll film my reaction. You'll film the puddles on the floor from who knows what fluids. So many fluids there could be on the floor from my body. But if they win 8 games, I will do the Steven Dix workout to my best ability. Like, obviously, I'm not going to lift what he lifts, but I'll rep my version of 380 or whatever he's doing, and to the point of exhaustion, just for your viewing pleasure.
There we go. That's fantastic. I like that. Maybe we'll even get Corey to do a wake up, since he's the one that originated it. I just hijacked it from him, like all great things. I just taken it from other people. Friday, that's just tomorrow. As you're watching us live, if you're listening to the podcast, it would be today. Friday, luncheon with all the coaches. Everything's going to be on the record. We'll get some video stuff with each assistant coach. Mike Norvell, 11:30 a.m. doing his press conference. We'll have it up on the YouTube page, warchant.com. Corey will be, I'm sure, doing updates. Austin will be there. Ira will be there. Gene will be there. Michael will be there. Tom will be there. Jeff will be there. We'll all be there. Hopefully you will all be coming back to warchant.com on the regular to check all that out. Corey, great seeing you. Hopefully I'll be able to give him a claws on you one of these times. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been Wake Up Warchant, fueled by DeLuna Coffee.